All right, so it's another day in the garage, and we're continuing on this GTX 4Tech conversion over to two-stroke. And in the last video, we got the oil tank installed. We did some wiring for the start, stop, mode buttons, because on the other RXDIs, the buttons are here. Now we've converted it over to here. Got the tether hooked up. Mounted the computer, got some various piping done, exhaust work done, a little exhaust, I don't know, I think they call that black thing a manifold, but I'm not sure. What else? I think that is about it. So in this video, I want to do the ignition coil box, gauges, and the fuel pump. We had to convert this one over because the one that's in it doesn't have a vent. And then finally, we have to redo the engine mounts. Once that's done, we're good to go. So let's get started with the fuel pump. First thing I'm going to do is see if we can get this glove box out. And I think by pushing this clip here. Oh, really? That's ridiculously easy. Well, that's awesome. Now we can pull that out, no problem. It's going to be a little awkward, but not too bad. Too easy. Whew. So I'm just draining some bad fuel out of the tank. So I'm thinking, while we're waiting, let's set up the supply and return feeds to the pump, and then we'll just slide the whole thing in one shot, and we're not working leaning over the machine under the hood. Ooh. That's a snug fit. Yeah, perfect. Woo! Try and take those off. Little break, please. Ooh, yeah. And this is the supply line, and the supply line is the top one. Yeah, the bottom one is the vent. You can just, for the return. Is that going to interfere? No. Well, that one slips right on. There's one. Return. Now the supply. Oh, maybe that hose is different. Oh, shit. That's why this one was so tough. I think I'm gonna have to change that. Change the plans, got it to go on. Now we just gotta get these clamps on, and that's gonna fight me too. Same procedure. One more. And the vent is in the machine, this vent here. So that one we'll have to put on in the machine. Let's see how the fuel's going. If I got a light. That is pretty yellow. And if you look in the bottom, there's some water right there. So I want to get all that crud out. Let's put this fuel pump in. Oh, I guess I gotta pull that drain out. I've drained all I'm gonna get out of it, I think. Not going that way. What can I not get hung up on? Anything? Holes don't line up. Really? 2. I'm thinking the holes do line up. I'm just thinking that this has to be rotated to the correct position. Whatever that position is. Okay, pull it out, see what's going on. There's the two pumps. Other than the, I wonder if that's supposed to have that cover on there or not. Anyway, I don't see a difference. What in the hell is hanging up? Maybe it's just getting caught on the threads. But there's no difference, and this is actually maybe about an inch shorter, the original one, or an inch longer. So obviously you have to run a little bit more fuel. That's got to fit. Now there is an arrow right here pointing to the fill. Seems like maybe the diameter of the hole into the tank is slightly different. How about that? Also, could the gasket, maybe I gotta use a bigger gasket. This is the gasket that was on here before. That seems like something's happening. Oh, yes. That was the problem. The gasket was getting caught underneath. And then we gotta put that on from where you are. Wow. That was a job. Now I'm gonna zip tie this stuff up out of the way nicely. And we are moving on to ignition box. All right, here we are in the engine bay, and it's time to hook up the next wiring harness piece. That is for the fuel pump, and also controls the rave solenoid, controls the air injectors, fuel injectors, temperature sensor, and something else that I'm forgetting because I got 3 of these here. I'm not sure, but we're gonna figure it out. And it also looks like there's one of the throttle position sensors on here as well. So let's put this thing in and we'll figure it out as we go, how we're gonna run it. Okay, front left. So this guy goes here. Ooh, nice fit. And this goes forward. Is that cruddy? No, it's just got the grease in there, dielectric grease. Can we see? Here's a good view. Plugs in, and then there should be a pink one somewhere. See the wire? It's the one that goes to the oil tank. That one right there. And again, one-handing it, but that's ridiculous. I'm going to clip that on proper. There she is, all clipped in and zip tied. And moving on. And continuing to feed the wires around. You know, where's the best route? And want to be sure that I have enough length here. I don't have to go this way. Am I going to run out of length? Do we like that or not? That gives us enough to get up to the top. Analyzing. All right, I think that this is the best route here. Gonna coil it right there. We'll zip tie it up after. Then I have adjustment and I can pull this thing, get more or less whatever I need. So yeah, that's it. And then this side, I believe that's for the front side of the map and throttle position. Yes, my bad. This is for the air temperature sensor and the PTO throttle position sensor. So don't mix that up. Okay, here we go. So after going through my junk pile, I found a bracket that is off a GTX. And the way that they mount it is they put it back here. Now, of course, since we've done all these mods, I don't know how well it's gonna fit. I might have to cut this tab off here. But I think if we squeeze that in there, maybe get that mounted up. It's the bracket actually holds it on a slight angle, which is fine. So I think I'm gonna mount that bracket right there. Seeing any issues? I don't. Other than that, sharp. Right there. That looks good. Now I got to take the bracket back off, drill it, mount it. So let's do that. There's already a rivet in that exact spot. Which is not ideal. There we go. That makes life easy. Now getting the screws back in, that's gonna be the challenge. Probably not, because then I can't get it. Where can I? Now, if I could get my 10 mil ratchet in there, that would be ideal. And another bolt here. Okay, and I put this in reverse and then it falls out again. Oh, God's sakes. What in the hell? Trying again. Found the parts. This is a little bit awkward because I'm leaning. That's one. Wow. Woohoo! I like that. Clears there. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to put in another wiring harness. Get some light in here. Now we can see. And this one is for power to the e-box, or from, whatever the case may be. This one goes, I think it goes up top. Yeah, because the bottom one goes up to the gauges. See how this works. We got miles. I don't know what you can or cannot see. But I can hardly see anything. I can't see anything. There's one. Oh, two. We're plugged in. That is awesome. And then I think this wire here is for the, hang on, the speed sensor. So we'll run that around the back. I can get it through. Any help would be greatly appreciated, guys. Yeah, that's it. That's our colors right. Black. Purple. I don't know if that's right or not. We'll assume it is for now. So here we are moving on, and I got a new boot for that OPAS power steering assist system. So I want to put this boot in, And looking at the condition of this one, I bet you the other side is just toasted too. And of course now, since we put the exhaust in, it's buried, so I can't even see much up in there. I might be able to reach in and see if I can feel any cracks, but my guess is it's probably toasted. So I think what we'll do is we'll put this one back in. It's easy to do from outside the machine, then we'll do the other one. So let's get into that. So seeing what I'm seeing here, I can't push that in through there because of the diameter of this thing. And I can't push it in through here, which means it has to go in from the inside. So that's going to be a challenge. So at least I can get at this side, then we'll figure out the other side. That was noisy. I can't see in there, it's too dark. I cannot reach to the back of the machine, believe it or not. So I think the only thing I can do is take the exhaust out. I've loosened it up and see if I can reach my hand in through here. So I'm going to pull that out and try and go in through that way. I'm just going to reach in here, grab the boot, and then hook on it from the outside here, which I now have right here, and see if we can pull that through there. Oh my God, this is crazy. That is tough. Oh, if I could just reach. Did we get it? I think we did. And hopefully I can push that metal piece through while it's in there. Okay. Something like that. Look at the crud on this thing. And so this piece goes out through there. I don't know if I have to take the plastic off. Is it easier to feed it through the outside? Yeah. Haha. Okay. Wow. Then we got the cap. And a couple of screws. I don't know if putting Loctite into fiberglass, or is that silliness? Let's call that no. Well, that's in. Hopefully it doesn't leak. Spin on the this guy, this guy. I think it's turning the whole shaft. Try and get the amount of threads exposed equal. Call it there. Yeah. And I'll tighten this up because that did nothing for me anyway. And this guy goes through here. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Need an Allen key. I had Loctite on it before, so I'll put some on again. Is that a misalignment? I won't tighten those down until we get the fin on here. It's nice once you do this once, then you kind of figure it out, but this is spring loaded. So you put the bottom on and it's keyed. Sorry, you put the top on. Then you can push that up. It just drops right in. I fought with that so much before. Okay, and then the little guy here goes in here, and I'll snug that down. I gotta go get a wrench. 13 mil. Now, the thread stops, so you can't over tighten it. So. And that's all there is to that. I don't know if I dare try the other one or not. I got to think about it, because without me getting in here, there was no way to reach for that thing. Popping the exhaust nut back on. Tighten it until you hear a snap. It's all good. Now we're done. Couldn't leave well enough alone. Pulled out this side. It's brand new. If you compare it to the old one, you can see how this smooth spot here is much larger than that one. It's totally different. So they had replaced one side that was leaking, but not the other. Now I got to try and get it back in. Well. Is what it is. Okay, put the paddle back on, all sealed up nice in there. So that's all good. I don't have any more maintenance stuff to do. We are down to the Raid solenoid. goes here, plugs into there. The 2 gauges, and then the engine mounts. And she's ready to go together. And a nice clean up pressure wash. So I think now I'm going to do a mount for this. And then I think we'll call it for this video, because the next video is going to be messing with the gauges and coming up with a housing for that and engine mounts. So those are going to be 2 fairly big projects. So anyway, let's get this thing mounted up. My plan, which isn't much of a plan, but I had this bracket. It's got 2 big holes in it. I just held it in here, and it actually, the holes line up with these brackets. So I'm going to unscrew those and mount this on there, but I'm going to cut it off on either side of the large holes so I don't have a great big bracket. Let me just clamp that in there for a second. And then if we take the solenoid, let me find a bracket without, here. Pop that in there, like so. I will, those are 2 different heights, I think. Oh, it doesn't matter. Screw it into there, bolt it on. We should be good to go. And that guy right there, I think is the thread for this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no? Yeah. Let's chop this up. Oh, that's too easy. Leaving the threaded parts on there just in case. Something else I want to add. I got something to bolt to. The reason why I'm using this is stainless steel. I have aluminum, but it doesn't look so good. Look at how crooked I cut that. We'll fix. Grinder. Bracket time. What is that, a 10 mil? Yep. Here's the bracket all polished up. Trying to make everything look like it was meant to be this way. Really? It's like those screws are just barely long enough. Not even long enough. Longer bolt, longer bolt. Hopefully it doesn't poke out through the front. Good. And then I'm going to put a little Loctite on this thing too so it doesn't come off. That's not tightened. Ooh, that is sweet. Got to tighten that up. It's just sitting in there. Put a little Teflon on that. We'll put that back on. She is done. And that bracket looks like it was meant to be. Okay, bolted that on. And in true Bombardier fashion, we're going to put a zip tie here. We'll be tying all these other wires up after the fact. And that gives me a little something to bolt into if I want to, you know, tie something up or hang something, put a bracket on there. So now that goes down to the air compressor. That goes over to the rave valves. So that'll be it for this video, but I'm pretty happy with that. Now we got everything all coming together nicely and the boots in and everything's ready to rock and roll. So gauges. So I'm looking at this and we have to put a round gauge in there. It's not the traditional gauge that comes with the 4-strokes. We got 2 of these, which leaves a gap. And I have the rubber boots right here. And I'm like, it's gonna leave a space in between. Then I was thinking, I have some 1/8 acrylic and I have a CNC machine. So I drew this up. I'm gonna stick that right in there and that will solve the problem. And I actually made 2. And over here, I put the 1 gauge in to see how it was gonna work. First shot on this, I couldn't believe it. And that will fit right in there. Pop the other gauge in here and you will not know that that's not factory. So that was a biggie for me trying to figure out how to do that. So I'm excited about that. So that'll be the next thing, but we've got to cut all these wires and extend every one of them. I got to make a longer wiring harness because this was meant to go and when the computer was in the front. So now I've got to splice and cut or splice and extend all of these wires. This I don't have to because that's going to go up by the computer and we'll plug in up there. So it's just whatever it is, 10 wires or something. I got another harness. I'll cut the wires off. They'll all be the same. So that's the next biggie. But really excited now about how everything's starting to come together. And there's another guy that's doing it too, another subscriber, and he was kind of thinking the same thing I was about just running metal plates over here, off of here, and then putting the engine mount right there. Same thing with these 2, we'll just offset it. It only has to come out maybe 4 inches or so. So we're gonna try that. I'm sure we're gonna make it all work, but that's sort of the last big hurdle that we've got to overcome. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching and coming along for the ride. I don't know if this is ridiculous or not, but the other guy was saying the same thing, is buying a new 4-stroke engine. Core is $3,500, $4,000. You're gonna sink that into a machine that you can buy for $5,000? No, I don't think so. So anyway, until the next one, thanks for watching.